Okay, big knock on wood, but have you also been feeling like the art world has kind of survived the first big shockwave of AI taking over industry? There's still moments where you might be browsing on YouTube to find that perfect playlist to listen to in the background while you're creating something beautiful, and all you see is stuff like this pop up. And every video having this kind of creepy, airy AI floatiness vibe to it. It reminds you every day that AI is not going away anymore. The internet is flooded with it at this point, and every now and then it still might send you spiraling into a deep, dark pit of despair. Fear for your career, or fear for where humanity is headed. But I've said before that you can't let that fear stop you from creating the art that this world so desperately needs right now. So here's a list of thoughts and recent news from the art and animation industry that have been giving me comfort and hope, and just eases my AI anxiety as an artist, and hopefully eases yours as well. Number one, let's start with the elephant in the room. It's ugly. If you are currently despairing, just open up YouTube or any site on the internet really, and look at the stuff that AI artists have been cranking out that they call good art. I mean, look at this. Is Demon Glitchface Flynn gonna take your job away? Is Demon Glitchface Flynn gonna make an audience feel at home and understood and move them deeply? No. Yes, of course, AI is getting better and better every day, and it's scraping more and more amazing art every day. But as for now, it seems that all that it's been doing is it's been devouring its own shitty art to make more, even shittier, even creepier art. And I find it so typical for our industry to feel threatened by that. Like, I know artists that are so talented, that have such amazing skills, that move people, that put such heart and soul and honesty and humanity into their art, and they're so worried about AI art. I mean, I'm always so worried about AI art, but if you actually look at it, like, it really can't compete with the art that inspired us to be artists, the artists that have worked hard. Which brings me to my second point. That lack of self-esteem, that has been changing in the last couple of years. I've been seeing throughout the industry of artists. And I think one of the reasons is AI, really. When your livelihood and everything you always wanted to do with your life and everything that makes you you is threatened so at its core, it really shocks you into a state of existentialism and evaluating why you wanted to do art in the first place, why art is important. And it sent so many artists kind of soul searching and finding that what we do is quite beautiful, and it is important, and it's helped us so much, and it helps other people so much to put beautiful, honest things into the world. And that's thoughts I never had. So through this very painful process, people found back to their confidence, to why they're important, to why their art is important in this world, to what really makes a piece of art valuable. I've seen it at conventions, at festivals, at life drawing classes in the evenings, with conversations with friends at cafes in the art industry. It's just everywhere. People are kind of like, yeah, no, what I do, it is valuable, it is important. I can't let myself be stopped, even if everything is at stake. That is beautiful. I love seeing the artists that I look up to the most taking such a strong stance against the generative AI movement. I've mentioned artists like Yuki Demers before, who has been very vocal and very active in pushing back against AI. Some artists are actually in the process of suing generative AI companies. Oh, butterfly. Huh, I don't know if you saw that. In the process of suing AI companies. And other artists like Sam Yang, for example, are using their platform or their amazing skills as a draftsman and teacher to heighten people's self-confidence to actually create their own art, as opposed to feeling the need to rely on a generative AI model. Like wherever you turn, you can see artists having their own unique and creative way of pushing back against what's happening in the world right now. One that really stuck out was this video that Aaron Blaise posted quite recently. Oh, it's so beautiful. Aaron Blaise, if you don't know, is one of these amazing ex-Disney animators, amazing draftsman as well. He directed Brother Bear, he worked on Lion King, and is also just a really great mentor figure in both animation and the animal anatomy world, and just a really beautiful traditional artist as well. And I'll link it down below because the whole video is just pure poetry, but it's so comforting. He explains why the end product is not what art making is about. It's not about what comes out in the end. It's the process and how you get to the product, how you put feelings and experiences into it. So it's so much more than just what comes out in the end. Please watch the video. It's beautiful. It's not very long. Stuff like that is uplifting for me. My community of artists is uplifting for me, and that is something to focus on when I'm feeling quite anxious. And it gives me hope on a daily basis to see posts and videos and content and have conversations like that. Now, your anxious brain might say, okay, fine, of course artists are pushing back against AI. They're one of the first people that are threatened by this. But what about the rest of the world? Like, do they care? And the amazing news is they absolutely do. I feel like we're at a phase where the novelty of generative AI is kind of dying down a little bit, and people are beginning to see the not so great effects of generative AI on our society come to the surface from like really mainstream media, like John Oliver's bit on AI slob, to just fake news videos crusading in the internet on the news, to there actually being studies on the effects of generative AI on our attention span and creativity. I feel like the non-art world is collecting evidence to be a little bit more skeptical about this big, exciting, grand new thing called AI, even though they might not be as directly threatened as we are. There's already strong evidence that artificial intelligence might surpass human intelligence, and it's not because AI is becoming so powerful. The reason is that human intelligence is declining. We are in the process of losing faith in the one thing that brought us so far in evolution, which is our own mind, our own ability to think and problem solve. People relying on ChatGPT to write their essays are showing less brain activity. Academic performances are declining worldwide. People are at the moment losing the ability to creatively think and problem solve and be creative. And once you learn to rely on AI in fields like research or creating new things and new ideas, people naturally become more and more dependent on these tools, and they lose the tools that they were born with, their brain power. If you don't use it, you lose it. And I mean, I've seen it in myself. I grew up with navigation systems and Google Maps and stuff, and I have the worst sense of direction. I cannot find my way around because I'm so used to relying on my phone. If I don't have my phone, I just get lost. And I'm scared to go somewhere without my phone because there's a real chance I just might never find my way back home. I mean, maybe I would, but I have such little trust in myself that I just never do it. And with AI, the same thing is happening. I think just like us artists, the non-art world definitely recognizes the amazing benefits that could come with AI, like in the medical field, for example. But I feel like they are also becoming increasingly more conscientious of the threats, like our species losing the ability to think critically, trust their own intuition, question things, problem solve, and create new solutions and new ideas. Now, I realize I wanted this to be a hopeful video, and this doesn't sound hopeful at all, what I've been saying, but my point is that people are talking about it, people are aware of it, that there is an inclination in mainstream media, in everyday life, that this amazing new tool comes with its downside, and with these new opportunities come very serious challenges. What first looks like it might just propel us forward is really in the long term really setting us back. And the more people outside of the art world have reason to look at this skeptically, the better for us. There's also been some really exciting news on the studio levels in the animation world. For I feel like a long time, all of us artists were really anxious, and writers and everybody and musicians were really anxious to see how studios are going to make use of AI, if they're going to use it in their own productions to replace artists and save money like Jeffrey Katzenberg famously wants to do. But instead, recently I've been seeing a surprising amount of big studios siding with the artists on this one. Disney and Universal, two competing studios, have joined together to sue Midjourney for copyright infringement, calling it what it is, a bottomless pit of plagiarism. Having a big, powerful and respected studio take this legal step, it's incredibly empowering to us, and it reminds people all over the globe that this is still theft that is happening. And it doesn't just become okay just because everybody does it, and it doesn't just become okay because it makes Silicon Valley AI bros millions of dollars, billions of dollars probably. Now, I am aware that these studios like Disney, I'm sure they kind of tried to see if their own artists were replaceable and realized that at this point AI is just not useful in production yet. Addressing specific notes is still not possible with AI. It just doesn't get as specific. It always turns out a little bit generic, the designs. So as for now, it's just not super useful for studios, it seems. I've heard this in my own productions as well. They were like, oh, we hope that this was going to be more helpful, but right now it really just makes more work, which is lovely. And also, I'm aware that Disney just realized probably that they're also threatened by this. They're also losing a lot of money because people are just generating Star Wars movies themselves now. But I think there are some studios that actually are pushing back against AI because they care about art and the artists. I'm sure Disney does too and stuff, but I've seen this lovely post from Titmouse saying that they'd rather work with talented humans than machines, and that they don't want to be in a position where they have to replace their human workers. And that is wonderful. And also, of course, never forget the amazing mic drop of Hayao Miyazaki at Studio Ghibli when was first confronted with AI. In general, AI is still evolving every day. It's developing rapidly in mass, but not in quality. And in our economy, we've seen it time and time again. Whatever product floods the market and far exceeds the demand essentially becomes worthless. And because the internet is so flooded with AI slob, I love that there even is a word for it now, AI slob. Real human art and real human skills and real human beings just being real and human becomes kind of rare to see online in comparison. Authenticity and humanness and vulnerability is not encouraged anymore nowadays, and that's what makes it so special and in effect valuable. I feel like your art, your voice, your stories, whatever you have to say really shines compared to what's out there in the internet right now. All that soulless eye candy art. Whenever you put something real out there in the world, people will be drawn to it because it's art that has been felt and not art that has been produced. My fear of AI flooding the market and that making my art worthless, paradoxically, that resulted in me becoming more confident in my art. We really know how to do hard things in a world where people are systematically trained to just always take the easiest way, and that is special, and we should be proud of that. In general, I think it's important to note that we are still in the very beginning of AI in the art world. Artists have fought for copyright protections before, and now it is a perfectly normal part of our society. No one questions it anymore. You can't just steal music and put it in your film and not pay an artist or credit an artist for it. It's just normal now. But that also was a process that people fought for. I know at times this feels like a big, unstoppable movement, and there's so much money and power involved in AI, and I know you feel so worthless sometimes, and you feel like this might just sooner or later overrule us all. But we're still in the very beginning phase, and we have some agency of what the future might look like. The way you deal with AI now has an impact on how it will develop, and that looks different for everybody. It doesn't mean that you have to be an activist fighting illegally or fighting people like AI bros on X in comment sections and stuff. If that's not you, that is absolutely fine. That's definitely not me. I'm kind of grateful that there are people out there that do that kind of fight, that kind of activism. skepticism, but your form of protest might look very differently. If you can just sit down with one non-art person at a barbecue and explain to them why this is so scary to us, or choosing to write a difficult letter or email without relying on ChatGPT but really feeling into your own heart and what you yourself have to say, or even if you just manage to sit down and create heartfelt art still and putting art out into the world that makes the world a better place, that is authentic, that is you, that might inspire other younger artists or just other artists in general, that makes a difference. Don't let AI anxiety scare you away from using that beautiful gift that you have. Yeah, I hope this eased some of your anxiety. These thoughts definitely helped me in a low spot, and I'm sure there will be more happy news reaching us. In the meantime, don't stop creating, don't stop believing in what you do, and yeah, thank you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.